What's up guys, this is Shah Alam. Today we're going to check out Renai Jelutong in Bukit Jelutong, Shah Alam. Let's go! Finally, we are back here again in Bukit Jelutong, and this is a rather interesting typology altogether in terms of architecture, because if you look into the master plan, this is a site where it's a circular or it's a radial format. So we kind of checked out radial before, and right in front we have Surya, and next to that there's a new second phase, I think. But then today we're going to check out this block here called Renai Jelutong, and you can see based on the condition of the facade, it has been around for some time. And right in front, so this was not around when we were here, but now what I like is there's this Greenview Islamic International School, there's Sri area, and it's all decorated up. There are some F&B, some offices. But something to take note first, Bukit Jelutong has always been this favorite location around Shah Alam itself for its landed home. So if you look around, right, the landed homes is just amazing, and this is located right next to the highway actually. So this connects all the way to Guthrie. This is a turn immediately right after the toll. So that was the not so good part where a lot of people used to complain about. But one thing, just by chilling around here, you can see it's filled with trees. It's very peaceful. And now let's go check out the project. So coming in through the gate for cars, this will be the main drop off, and you can see this double volume ceiling height, which is nice. Then you have a glass canopy in the front. It's very welcoming. They have concrete floorings and even comes with a pathway within the boundary itself, so that's great. I think a lot of pedestrians will be using this space because the surrounding is all very convenient. That's nice. There will be an emergency or a secondary exit. I think it's going to be for maintenance because that's going to be the garbage room at that side. From the drop off, then this will be the block A, that will be block B. And you can see the round columns, very majestic. Wow, look into the ceiling treatments. They even plaster up the ceiling. I think that extends over to the car park area. We'll go and check it out. So there will be level 1 for car park. You have the water feature going on with an island within. At night with the light and water switch on, it will look very nice, but I don't think they are in operations right now. So you look into the maintenance, it's not very well. This will be the letter box that is open. I don't encourage this. They kind of decorated the pit a little bit. At the edge then, these grass crates technically should be laluan bomba, but eventually it becomes the main road. But they kind of maximize the space and they put visitors car park onto it. Technically this should be the main exit out, but they maximize whatever they could. That's good. And now we are in the elevated car park. The ramp system that they'll be using will be a scissors ramp where you need to go level 1, 1A, 2, 2A, 3, 3A. And looking at the ceiling height now, this is not very high, okay? There's cement flooring, but one thing is for this level 2, the structural system has already been decorated. So you can see that there's an extra layer of plaster for dressing up, but overall it's very dark. So there will be a boom gate, so maybe that's the measure that they control. For flooring, then you will have some levels of epoxy for pedestrian, and this will be the lift lobby. Alternatively, after you come in, this will be the access into the car park, and you can immediately access to the scissors ramp already . Coming up from the balcony, we are now in the lift lobby. For the floor plate itself, it's very wide. As you can see, the only opening will be on this, but here we can really feel the typology of the most narrow point of two buildings. Because from the drone shot, we can see that the two buildings are actually sandwiched in a V form, and this is the closest point between two blocks. and I like it that it's connected between the kebok sampah with the lift lobby of this block lah. So I think it's still fine. However, what we can see here will be maintenance issues. So these are the latch where it will be perfect for pigeons to call homes. So you can see it's very obvious even to the bottom of the glass roof. All those will be bird droppings. And in total there will be 13 units serviced by 3 lifts here, 2 passenger lift, 1 fire lift or service lift. And when you look at it, it's a double loaded corridors with a very narrow voids in between. What's very interesting is here you will have the fire door technically, but in actual fact there aren't any. That's cool. So the opening for the lift lobby, it's wide. It's about 3.3 to 3.4 meters. And you can see now the shading to my tone, there's an orange one because we are in a rather high floor. And for the roof finishes, they are using this orange tin roof material. So as a result, everybody has this tan skin. And moving on, so here this will be the void format for the corridor, and it's a little bit like selang-seli kind of thing. So here you will have one, there will have one at the edge, then you will have an open window. So for those who are at the corner unit, which will be this, then this is indirectly yours lah, which is very nice. They place this, I think, as an afterthought after the rain comes splashing in. So this seems like an afterthought measure. And what we can see right now, this will be the ultimate signature of Bukit Jelutong as an address. The landed homes here are very desirable. That will be NKVE highway, and here we can actually feel the intensity from it. There are still a lot of lands available, but right now they are just still kept in green. That will be the golf course. For the units that's facing there, you get golf course view actually. So the corridor width here is about 1.8 meters when you have a curb with steel handrails. So for those with kids, then I am not very comfortable with these, but for youngster, then I think it's fine. And you can see signs of aging from the building because this building has been completed for some time already. So look at all these, right? So these are leaking problems, not the end of the world. You just need to fix them. And this will be the location for the kebok sampah. So let's look at it. Then I understand double door system for isolating the ventilation. I understand. I don't understand this. What is this space for actually? A bit wasted. So anyway, there will be 3 doors before getting into the room. So in terms of ventilation, it will be great because the rubbish will most likely just travel through this service lift going down for maintenance. Yeah. So in terms of the experience, because we are in a higher floor, that's why it's very bright and it's very windy, so it's very comfortable. But windows like this, then I think it's too low. It needs to be smaller, or they just switch the form a little bit because in terms of privacy, right, not very good. Actually, this is the bathroom if not mistaken. And let's check out the unit for today. So from the corridor, this will be the experience going in. The width of the foyer is 1.68 meters, and you have a designated space for you to put in your shoe cabinet. And let's go into the unit. So this will be the unit that we're going to check out today. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit, 788 square feet actually. So when you come in from the foyer, you will have the kitchen tucked at the side. Immediately here you have 1 bathroom that is shared. So here you can have a bedroom, and indirectly, right, you just partition the door here. This is actually a separate unit altogether. Going in, this will be the dining, then the living. This will be the principal bedroom with its ensuite bathroom. Immediately they are attached to the facade. This will be then attached to the void. So the clearance of the door is about 950 mm and it's a fire rated door, and the height is about 2.4. So that's pretty convenient for a size like this. And the unit is pretty direct. So here you will have the kitchen and you have a corner here. Nice. Then dining, living, master bedroom, mini workspace, yard space, bathroom, and bedroom 2. So for the ceiling height, it's about 3 meters high, and for the length of the kitchen top, this is about 3 meters. So this is very sizable, and I think this comes with the developer unit. But you can really tell that it's aged now. So you can see the solid surface, right, all turned yellow already. You will have the 5 feet wall tiles. That is also part of your backsplash. Hood and hob These are the cabinets given. This will be the basin by Johnson Swiss as the tap. And I like this little corner here, but I just don't agree with this lah. Technically, I could have just put another storage area, but they position the floor trap there, so indirectly it's not usable. And that is also part of the comments that I'm having right now. So you can see, although the developer actually provide kitchen, that's nice, but do you necessarily need that much of space for utilities? Now this is just a box up where the exhaust goes through, or the water pipe actually flows through from the top, so it looks so heavy, but the actual usable space is so little. But anyway, going through this side, then I think it's added on, so this will be the little laundry area or storage area. So the wall-to-wall space here is actually 1.77 meters, and this seems like the designated space for you to put in your washer and dryer. It would be a good thing if it's just a stack to save more space. So I think this also comes with the unit, if not mistaken. But personally, I think there could be a better way to use the space, but if it's given, then good for you lah, bonus. But what I think would be a better way, because if you were to do it like this, it loses the possibility of partitioning this, entirely making it into a master bedroom instead, or a room with an ensuite bathroom. That allows the unit to be able to fetch a different rate, because now master bedroom 1, normal bedroom 1, when I want to rent out individually, instead I can actually rent out to 2 parties if I want to. Anyway, coming in, this will be the bathroom tucked at the corner, and this will be connected to the void. With the one that is connected to the corridor, then there is also the bathroom, where I think it's going to be very weird. But what's also weird is, in comparison to the layout of the space, 788 square feet, right, this bathroom is huge. So here we have the tap by Johnson Swiss, WC by Johnson Swiss, full height wall tiles with a shower and compartment to put in your shampoos. There won't be any shower screen, and I think this comes with the unit itself lah, so it matches the cabinet outside. Then for the door treatments, a steel frame door with a built-in shadow gap. So as a result, the joint between the brick wall and the door frame is very tidy. Nice. Plug points, I wish they could be lower. But here then you can see the doors are the standard 7 feet doors. This is the 8 feet door. So this is about 2.1 meters door. Going in, this will be the bedroom 1. So the width of the bedroom is 2.95 by 3.56 meters. So technically the square part of the room is spacious, but just that it's really affected by the kings here. So in terms of feng shui wise, this is not very good. When you have a door directly facing to you, this also not very good in terms of feng shui. And then you have another corner here, another kink. Then you look into the structural one. I know it's just trying to squeeze in a window so you somewhat get the facade view also, but it's not as great. In terms of space, it's still fine when you put in the bed, but just that in terms of layout wise, you have this line to avoid, this line to avoid, so it's very difficult. Then looking outwards, this will be the window that has indirect view to the golf course, but this is the aircon latch actually, but this one you can open lah. Coming out then, this will be the dining space and the living space connected to this French balcony, and we have the windows open already. So what we can feel here, behind the trees, that is actually NKVE. Let's do the sound check. Not too bad. So now you won't feel the traffic at all. So that's great. But in terms of the percentage of opening against the facade wall, I think it's very nice. You have this 3 window panel in a sliding door format, so you can open it when you need ventilation or fresh air. But the view, I think it's solid though. So you can see it's like all greens. But technically these are buildable areas lah. Sooner or later, if this location were to pick up in terms of high rise, I think this will be another block. Anyway, the wall-to-wall width here is 3.28 meters. That's why after you squeeze in the sofa, the coffee table along with the console, you still have enough circulation space to the view. But it's not a balcony, so you don't need to have that circulation space actually. And if you look into the property portals, the 2 bedroom 2 bathroom unit ranges from 500,000 500,000, the cheapest, to 580,000 empty unit. And if you look into the rent, the 2-bed 2-bath unit is going for about 2,000 per month bare furnished, but if fully furnished it can go for 2,001 to 2,002. So if you were to think about it, let's say you buy at 400,000 back then, the rental can actually cover your installment, but at 400 to 450,000, so I don't know which price you buy. Not too shabby. Then in terms of flooring, they are providing a 600 by 600 mm tiles. What's up with this curb? Technically I like it because you can actually just put a cabinet in, right? So it can be a shelf for books or decorative items, but this just shows that the thickness of the columns and beams is huge. Anyway, going in, this will be the master bedroom. This part of space is actually awesome. So in terms of length, it's 3.32, in terms of width, it's 3.62 meters. That's why after you put in a queen size bed here, you still have so much more space. So this is going to be the place where you position your TV. There will be a box up for the aircon units and its pipings. Then this will be the window size. It's big compared to the layout, which allows you to just frame up this amazing greenery. Wow, this is solid, man. In terms of view, I think this is solid. There you will have the Shah Alam stadium part of things, and this unit is actually have an L angle window. So this is very nice. But again, you can see all the latch all aging already. But in terms of flooring, they are providing solid timber panels for flooring along with the timber skirting, so that's nice. That's why I think across time this has been around, no one maintained. You can see the signs of aging again, maybe just a layer of oil and polishing, it will look as good as new. Anyway, that will be the location of the wardrobe, and going in, this will be the ensuite bathroom. Basin by Johnson Swiss, WC Johnson Swiss. This is a shower screen, full height wall tiles with the window connected to the slit at the side of the void. In terms of space, it's very wide, very luxurious. 788 square feet, 2-bedroom, right? It's so comfortable in today's context. I think back then when it was launched in 2017, I don't think so working from home was a thing yet lah. But I think now in today's lifestyle, it's so relevant. One has a workspace behind, so you don't have to really work with the weird layout as a bed position if you care about feng shui lah. If you don't, never mind lah. But in terms of toilet size, I think 2 toilet sizes are overkilling, so it's way beyond. Something about the specs as well, like you look into the size of the wall tiles. This is a 1 by 2 feet wall tiles. For new launches, you also won't find this kind of finishes already. Indirectly, this also showcase the specification of materials for projects pre-COVID and post-COVID. Very interesting. And now what you can see for the aircon is also aged. The whole thing turned yellow already. See the sticker, right? It's a 3-star sticker. Wow. And I think that's all for the unit. A very direct one, a very compact one. But 788 for 2-bedroom, we have seen how people squeeze in 3-bedroom at this size lah for the modern ones. So this borderline luxurious. Let's go and check out the facilities there. Coming out straight away from level 6, this will be the facilities deck, and immediately you will have the timber deck, that's nice, and you will have the roof canopy that is made of glass, but you will see signs of birds dropping everywhere. Intent is good, but not so good in terms of practicality, but they kind of seal this, I don't know why. But anyway, this roof canopy is meant to go between blocks. When you have rain, right, at least this will be shaded. So next to the wading pool, then this will be an elevated pool. In terms of finishing, it's rather luxurious. This is a treatment that we use a lot back then, so you kind of have that water sound falling, and here you kind of have that vista also because the building actually arranged in a V shape, right? So this view is actually very nice. On the side here you have laundry services, you will have all the rooms. In terms of privacy, you have the landscape treatment. So beside the pool, there will be rooms below the residential towers, and they are using that for all the facilities room lah. So this is those very unfavorable layout of mine where they just use the existing structural system lay all the way down and call it whatever it is. So now they put in the ping pong table and some sitting areas, right? Ta-da, it becomes a games room. But technically this should be a bedroom, this should be the living room, this should be the bathroom, this should be the storage, and etc. You see? They just inherit whatever structural system because they want to cut costs on the transfer slab. That's why you just inherit all this. You can see in terms of flooring, right? This is the flooring unit. Coming up from the side, we have an elevated pool as mentioned just now. So we have a timber deck where you have pavilions, then you have planter box around with Kemboja trees. This looks good lah. Along with the pool tiles that's blue in color, and you will have the jacuzzis at the side here. So here you can see that infinity edge. In terms of lap pool, then you will just do the lap around this area, and right in front you will have the shop lots already surrounded by trees, and that will be Renai Jelutong that we have visited before back then. Coming right opposite then, this is somewhat like a cafe. You can see some setting of a cafe within, but I'm not too sure whether are they still operational or not, but very interesting. Then going in, this will be a nursery where most of it is going to be empty. Then here you can see the lack of maintenance. The usual problem with this kind of tiles at the edge is you will have splashing out. So the tiles is actually going to come out already, and it's actually overflowing into the floor here. So now we are in the gym. In other words, it's a garden unit within the facility that is relabeled and reused into a gym. Again, you can see the limitation that they have without the transfer floor. Existing shear wall inherited from the top. That's why your free weight zone is like that. But in terms of equipment, I think it's still fine. So they will have your air walkers, your bicycle, and it's actually by health stream, so it's cool. This one facing the pool, not too bad. But you have these weird areas lah. So you can see all these partitions, right? 2 treadmills here. Ceiling height is very low with the machine in the center. The aircon then is placed outside here facing the pool. At the back then, this will be the children's play area. It's located within a sunken area. So here you will have the play area, you will have a pavilion at the end, and this will be the garden units. Actually the garden units is not bad, just that I wish the whole facility deck will be garden units instead. And by chilling around the facility deck, the scale feels very small compared to the ones that we are visiting right now for all the mega developments. And that is because the total number of units for this development is only 222 units in total. So the units are very limited, therefore it's going to be a bit more quiet. In return then, your facilities area not as great lah. And now we are in the highest floor. So this is the rooftop, and you will have some open areas for you to just chill and hang out. But it's actually shared between private owners. So there will be areas where it's actually enclosed. Some are fenced up, and there will be the privacy measure of the spaces lah. So you still have this very weird zigzag in and out kind of setting. This will be the barbecue pit, and it's just artificial turfings with hedges, pavilions. Good enough, functional, but you can see the paints are really affected by the weather lah. So that will be the edge of one wing. In the center then you will have this multi-purpose hall, and what I like is people just threw a birthday party, so means people are still using the space. Very good, but the view that you get within the unit is also not too bad. Common spaces are wide, just that the signs of aging is giving us the impression that it's not good. So we were there, coming over to this wing, then here you kind of get a better view of the greens as well as the golf course and the blue moss from Shah Alam next to Concord Hotel. The view is actually amazing, but in comparison to like this block, right, the edge of this block seems rather terrible. They didn't age gracefully lah, and that comes to a few possibilities. And the main one that immediately comes to my mind is the unsold units for all this. When the units are unsold, nobody actually pays maintenance, or I would say sufficient maintenance fees to actually operate the building, because if you look into the design treatments, it's going to be pretty luxurious where you have glass canopies, you will have timber floorings everywhere and things like that. But now, because of the lack of maintenance, the building did not age gracefully, unfortunately lah. Like just by looking across, right, there are still several empty units that we can see obviously. Now we have come out from the project, and walking distance wise we have some marts, the schools, a lot of children facilities, and let's go and find some food. But you can see it does not age well as well. This water body actually connects all the way to the mosque actually, so this entire drone shot looks amazing. By strolling around this water body, there were some turtles around, which is very cool. Kids love it. Not bad leh. I think the original intent and design of it. So imagine I'll just stay opposite, bring my kids over here while grabbing dinner, while grabbing whatever. It's gonna be very comfortable, but just that maintenance and population not as great. There are some kopitiam, some mamak, some restaurants. Like, it's Friday noon, absolutely no people. So after walking around, I see some spaces around Renai Jelutong side. So that side you have a little bit more businesses here as well. So it's mainly clinic, childcare services, F&Bs, then you will have dentists, a lot of event space also. Then the rest is all mainly operational offices for companies. I can see some spare part companies, some logistic, some chemical companies, and that's about it. And I guess that's all for the episode today. It's now time for Sean's Take 3 on 3. The first thing I like will be the initial impression when we arrive at the project. So if you look into the guard house, if you look into the drop off, you look into the car park where you will have the columns all furnished, all covered with Venetian plaster. Then we go into the lift lobby. The size of the lobby is nice. It's very welcoming. The common corridors into the unit is also very nice. All that, I love it. That first impression is very good. Even within the compound itself, you will have a walkway for pedestrian, which I think is very rare. So it kind of indicates that this area is meant for walking lah. And that is very close to point number 2. The front part of the project is actually a commercial area, and that provides a lot of elements for convenience, and this is like walking distance, yeah. So you kind of enjoy the best of both worlds because it's actually separated in different land titles. This is not like the usual project that we visit, the mixed development, downstairs commercial, upstairs residential. This one is a separate one, so you will have control over the privacy level, but then walking out you will have the schools, the childcares, the clinics, the stores, the groceries. If you go a bit more, you have a yoga center, fitness center, and etc. However, it's not like the best, most busy one, but in terms of traffic wise, not too bad. So it means you have the best of both worlds lah. In terms of privacy, you can control, and yet at the same time you will have convenience. Then the last thing I like will be the commitment. I don't know what happened to the project actually, but the initial commitment of the developer. So I can only imagine when it was handed over, it must be very impressive, because if you look into the material that was given, if you look into the specifications of the glass canopies alone, some of it looks like it's added on later, but I still think that credit should be given to the developer. Somebody important in the residence would have made a lot of noise. That's why you will have a lot of water splashing issue for the architecture. We'll talk about that later. But you will see a lot of corrective measures being taken. You will have a lot of canopies covered here and there. Even for the facilities deck, actually you will see the connection bridge that's actually covered using glass canopy. Technically you don't need to use glass, but I don't know why lah. Then in terms of the specification of the projects, you can see solid timber floorings for the bedroom. You can see the cabinets all being done up in a scale that is very big, and that somewhat proves this hypothesis that I have all this while. So like now when we think about the comparison between pre-COVID and post-COVID projects, whatever that is left over currently in the market that was completed pre-COVID, I think those are still right now, because in terms of specification, we can see it's way higher compared to the ones that is newly launched around in the market right now. If not, right, how do you think the developer is going to still price the same price for the same size? They're going to cut corners in materials given, like not cut corners, but be a bit more innovative. So looking at this project, right, it's supposed to be this statement making, impact making property when it was handed over in 2017. But that leads to the 3 things that I don't like. So I guess sales weren't very good. Therefore, you have a lot of empty units, don't know what to do with them. So you will have less people paying maintenance fees, therefore resulting in a very poor maintenance, leading to this deteriorating building that we see right now. So we can see the building is really aging, not in a graceful way in terms of the facade paint, in terms of furnishing levels. in terms of the cracked tiles, walls, everywhere. Then you have the bird droppings, nobody is cleaning them. It's such a waste actually, and that is why when we invest in properties, right, all of us want a fully owned or a fully sold project actually. At least if the developer were to own the remaining units, they pay their share in maintaining them lah. Because as mentioned just now, in terms of specifications, they are very good, but just that the lack of maintenance leads to it being, it's just dirty, it's just age. The whole building will look totally different just with a fresh coat of paint and some cleaning, right? That can hold turnover, so it really requires more new buyers. I don't know what's the ongoing packages that's available in the market, but if rental were to be picked up when the address continues to prosper, then maybe there's a fighting chance lah. That also kind of leads to the second point here. Like, I have a very different perspective about density right now. Like, in total there's only 222 units, very low density due to the building height restrictions around here. That's why you don't see a lot of high towers. But with 222 units, maybe 20% unsold, then you will have some paid on time, some not on time. That's why you have insufficient maintenance fee. As a result of that, we can see the facility deck size is actually very limited and is also not maintained well. So sometimes when we think if we were to want lower density, are you okay with the consequences of it, which is having smaller facilities deck, and you will need to have a higher percentage of people paying maintenance fee on time just to sustain? So I don't know, I'm not too sure also, just because it is way more evident because of the maintenance condition. And last of all will be the current state of the address, which is still maintained as a luxurious address, highly demanded address for landed homes. So if you were to see around, landed homes all are occupied. For apartments, then not so much, and that results in a lot of empty lands actually. There's an empty land right next to the project actually, so if the demand were to pick up, then you will have a brand new project next to you. It will create competition also. But in this sense, again, it's a very contemplating thing. Would you want competition now to bring attention to this township? In terms of township planning, this is marvelous in my opinion. This is those very rare radial format of township where you can see beautiful moss architecture, beautiful outlines and facade all around, just that there are no enough population. There's just not enough business activities to kind of goreng it. But in terms of facilities, you look into the pathways, look into the infrastructures, there'll be a park for futsal, food court, prayers area, stadiums, fields, a lot lah. I think there's going to be a lot of things to do for the kids. But in terms of rental demand, business activities and job opportunities, I don't think so, unfortunately. So in this episode, it's very cool. So we kind of have brand new theories, haven't really proven yet lah, about pre and post COVID buildings in terms of comparison between their finishing materials. Then the discussion about fully sold project versus empty projects. Also between low density projects versus high density projects versus quiet areas and busy areas. This is a very clear comparison between all the previous episodes that we have done. What a cool study. But in terms of architecture, right, like you can see the central part of the commercial area, this would have made it, but I'm not sure why. And I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you really like this episode, like it, share it, even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.